Gary DeWaal here, and this is Bridging the Week for August 11th to August 15th, and today is August 18th, 2014. Good morning! ICE Futures US has followed the Chicago Mercantile Exchange in amending its rules and issuing new frequently asked questions regarding exchange of futures for related positions. Transitory EFRPs will be prohibited, but, as at the CME, so-called offsetting EFRPs involving foreign currency will be allowed. Is this Lord Voldemort hovering over the futures industry again? Namely, the transactions that must not be named? Absent some big breaking news, I anticipate this is the last edition of Bridging the Week until after the U.S. holiday of Labor Day on September 2nd. So, let's get started. Last week, ICE Futures US adopted amendments to its rule and issued a new frequently asked questions advisory regarding exchange of futures for related positions. In general, amendments expressly prohibit so-called transitory EFRPs by making it clear that the execution of one EFRP cannot be made contingent on the execution of another EFRP or related position transaction involving the same parties, where the two transactions result in the offset of the related position without parties incurring market risk. Notwithstanding, according to the exchange's new FAQ, immediately offsetting exchange of futures for related positions involving foreign currency futures are not prohibited as transitory EFRPs. EFRPs, by the way, are a type of EFRP. This is because, says the FAQs, in such transactions, quote, the offsetting physical transaction cannot be contingent on the execution of the EFP. For example, if the futures leg of an immediately offsetting EFP in foreign currency is not accepted for clearing, the futures transaction and corresponding cash or over-the-counter component of the EFP would be left with the standalone physical currency transaction that was not a component of the EFP. Why is this unique for foreign currency? There are a lot of details involving this amended rule and FAQ. Check them out on the article version of Bridging the Week on my website. 2 weeks ago, it was his former work colleague, Yahao Pu, pleading guilty to unlawfully taking proprietary trading strategy algorithms from two companies, including Citadel LLC. Last week, Sahil Uppal himself pled guilty to obstructing justice in helping Mr. Pu's illicit conduct. According to Mr. Pu's plea agreement, prior to joining Citadel as an employee in May 2010, Mr. Pu worked for an unnamed high-frequency trading firm where he helped test and analyze trading strategies. In March 2010, on the precise day before he resigned from the unnamed firm, Mr. Pu allegedly downloaded quote-unquote thousands of files, including the firm's high-frequency trade source code, to his personal computer. He was not authorized to do this. Subsequently, Mr. Pu began work at Citadel to help develop and improve his new employer's high-frequency trade strategies. During August 2011, Mr. Pu allegedly copied certain of Citadel's proprietary software and other information to his own computer, which he also was not authorized to do. After Mr. Pu was confronted regarding his actions by Citadel representatives on August 26, 2011, Mr. Pu, with the alleged assistance of Mr. Uppal and another unnamed individual, endeavored to hide his personal computer equipment that contained the illicitly obtained software from both companies. Later, Mr. Pu erased some of the data from his computer equipment and had some of his computer equipment tossed into a nearby sanitary canal. Wow, just like the movies. Mr. Uppal had joined Citadel in September 2010, also to research and develop high-frequency trade strategies. Both Mr. Pu faces a possible sentence of up to 20 years imprisonment and a maximum fine of $500,000 US, while Mr. Uppal faces up to the same time imprisonment and a maximum fine of $250,000 US. Sentencing is scheduled in a United States federal court in Chicago on November 7th. I have some valuable lessons learned regarding confidential information on the article version of Bridging the Week on my website. Check it out. The CME Group publicized 3 disciplinary actions involving non-members for violations of the New York Mercantile Exchange's prohibition against wash trades. In one action, Barclays Bank plc agreed to pay as a sanction $90,000 US in connection with alleged wash block trades that were executed between accounts of the bank and Barclays Capital Energy, a subsidiary, on multiple dates between March 2010 and December 2011. NYMEX's Business Conduct Committee concluded these trades were undertaken to transfer positions to the subsidiary's account. The BCC also found that the bank failed adequately to supervise certain internal personnel, quote, to ensure that they provided accurate guidance, end quote, with respect to these trades. In an unrelated action, Suncor Energy Marketing and Stephen McMain were also charged with violating NYMEX's prohibition against wash trades for certain transactions from August to November 2012 in 3 accounts with the same beneficial owner in order to offset positions in the expiring crude oil futures contract. In connection with these transactions, Suncor agreed to pay a fine of $40,000 US, and Mr. McMain agreed to pay a fine of $15,000 US and be suspended from trading CME Group products for 5 business days. NYMEX asserted jurisdiction over Barclays Bank as it is an affiliate of an exchange member, and over Suncor and Mr. McMain solely for trading on the exchange. Eurex has issued a circular reminding its members that Eurex clearing is prohibited to clear for U.S. persons Euroswap futures contracts. This is because such contracts require the making or taking a delivery of an OTC interest rate swap that clears through Eurex Clear. As Eurex Clear currently is not registered as a derivatives clearing organization with the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, it is prohibited to deal with U.S. persons in connection with cleared OTC swaps at this time. Eurex is requiring its members to make certain representations to it to ensure this prohibition is honored. Traditionally, U.S. persons can trade all but certain non-U.S. futures and related options. For example, U.S. persons may not trade futures based on broad-based non-U.S. securities indices unless approved by the CFTC, or in a non-sovereign debt instrument unless the SEC has designated the instrument as a so-called exempted security. Eurex Circular is a reminder that U.S. persons may now also be precluded from trading in certain foreign futures contracts where delivery or taking delivery of an OTC contract, whether cleared or not, is mandatory at contract termination unless such OTC contract clears through a CFTC-designated derivatives clearing organization. The SEC sued the state of Kansas for misleading investors through offering documents for its bond offerings by not disclosing that the state's pension system was materially underfunded and created substantial repayment risk for investors. To settle this matter, the state agreed to cease and desist from further violations. Previously, the SEC had sanctioned the state of Illinois and New Jersey for similar non-disclosure regarding their underfunded pension plans. Wasn't Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz from Kansas? Oh no, maybe there is no place like home. Well, that's it for this week's Bridging the Week. As always, there's more information in each article and more articles on the article version of Bridging the Week on the Gary DeWaal and Associates website. Until next edition of Bridging the Week, in 2 weeks, this is Gary DeWaal. Have a great 2 weeks, and ciao!